Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm most grateful for the opportunity to make a statement to welcome members and your good self to the commencement of the third meeting of the fourth session of the 8th Parliament of the Republic of Ghana, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it feels so good to see everyone back. I'm grateful to the Lord Almighty for His protection over all of us. Mr. Speaker, kindly indulge me to bring to your notice and to the notice of the House some matters that require urgent national attention. These matters, Mr. Speaker, are worrying, and since they have the potential to disturb the peace and threaten the stability of the democracy. Mr. Speaker, this is particular so because if this is not checked, it can lead into the destruction of the democracy that we have all fought for. Mr. Speaker, prior to the last District Assembly elections, the NDC Minority Caucus raised concerns about the conduct of the Electoral Commission during the limited registration. This was because the Commission made terrible decisions that threatened the integrity of Ghana's electoral process. Mr. Speaker, this set the Electoral Commission on a coalition course with some political parties, civil society organizations, and potential first-time voters. In February 2023, the NDC minority had a cause to say that this Electoral Commission enjoys taking unwholesome decisions, being disruptive, fancies courting public disaffection, and enjoys being roundly condemned by right-thinking people. We said this at the time because the Electoral Commission had taken a decision to restrict first-time voters to register only at the offices of the Electoral Commission. That reckless decision had the potential to disenfranchise or deprive the vast majority of first-time voters the opportunity to have their names captured in the voter register. That decision by the Electoral Commission made the registration of new voters during the limited registration exercise very difficult, cumbersome, painful, and laborious for those who were qualified to register as voters. The decision of the Electoral Commission also imposed huge unplanned financial burden on members of Parliament, parliamentary candidates, and political parties. Persons who were registering for the first time were needlessly subjected to frustrations and great inconvenience, whilst members of Parliament were subjected to significant unplanned out-of-pocket expenditures. People had to travel long distances, Mr. Speaker, to the offices of the Electoral Commission, endure long delays from queues, and suffer the agony of broken down registration equipment and network failures. Mr. Speaker, one would have thought that the Electoral Commission would have learned lessons from the reckless decision that I have just recounted, which created chaos and confusion over the place. But no, Mr. Speaker, the Electoral Commission learned nothing from the past. These terrible decisions have just been repeated by the Electoral Commission in just ended voter registration, as well as the ongoing vote transfer exercise. Mr. Speaker, the Electoral Commission is making a simple electoral process very cumbersome, frustrating, expensive, and, Mr. Speaker, burdensome. These developments do not inspire hope in our electoral process. Rather, they give people and some political parties cause to question the integrity of the processes ahead of the 2024 general election. We are concerned, Mr. Speaker, that if these frustrating actions and decisions of the Electoral Commission is not checked, it can negatively impact the peace and stability of our democracy. Mr. Speaker, despite the Electoral Commission's earlier agreement with political parties at IPAC meetings to let the party agents monitor vote transfer, the Commission made a strange announcement banning party agents from the ongoing voter transfer and for them to be able to monitor the voter transfer. Again, Mr. Speaker, it took the strong pushback from the NDC and some civil society organizations and condemnations, Mr. Speaker, across the country for the Electoral Commission to retreat. These developments, Mr. Speaker, are unhealthy for our electoral process and democracy, and go a long way to ground the public perception of bias on the part of this particular Electoral Commission. Mr. Speaker, why must this Electoral Commission always take questionable decisions which create chaos and confusion across the country? Why must this Electoral Commission always threaten the peace and stability of our dear democracy? Mr. Speaker, I may ask again, why must it take massive pushback from the public and backlash from the Electoral Commission to always do what is right for the people of Ghana? Mr. Speaker, whilst we acknowledge the Electoral Commission is an independent body, it must be pointed out in no uncertain terms to the Electoral Commission that it does not have the independence to make dangerous, ridiculous, and outrageous decisions that can affect the peace and stability of our country and its democracy. It is therefore imperative for Parliament to call the Electoral Commission to order and to save the democracy that we have always protected. Mr. Speaker, the NDC Minority Caucus want to use this forum to demand an urgent committee of the whole meeting with the Electoral Commission and to iron out these concerns before, Mr. Speaker, it is too late. Right Honourable Speaker, may I now move to another issue of considerable national interest. Mr. Speaker, only some few days ago, we woke up to the news of another scandal that this government has given out our 5G spectrum to a company or a new entity called the Next Gen Infraco Company Limited for the next 10 years. Mr. Speaker, under this deal, we were told that the Next Gen Infraco Limited has been given the exclusive right to build, own, and operate the entire 5G infrastructure network across the country for the use of all mobile network operators, internet service providers, and other interested entities. Interestingly, Mr. Speaker, the President granted executive approval for the Sweetheart deal on the 22nd of August 2023, barely 1 week after the company was incorporated on the 16th of August 2023. This arrangement, Mr. Speaker, are not transparent, was awarded without any competitive process whatsoever, and has not been subjected to parliamentary approval as required by Section 33 of the Public Financial Management Act 921/2016. While conservative estimates suggest that the government could have raised between $250 million to $500 million upfront, this government is giving our national asset away at a paltry $6.25 million and 1% annual revenue per annum over a period of 10 years on a work and pay basis. Simply put, Mr. Speaker, Ghana will receive $42.2 million in present value terms, assuming cost of capital is 10%, for a national asset that could have cost us, that this nation could have raked in up to $500 million. Mr. Speaker, this deal does not deliver value for money. It has shortchanged the people of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, particularly at a time that Ghanaians need so much foreign exchange to cushion the currency, and also at a time that Ghana actually requires some form of non-tax revenue to take the burden of the taxpayer. The NDC minority has therefore flagged this transaction, Mr. Speaker, for further scrutiny, and we urge the government to do what is right and present the document before us for us to do justice with it before the agreement is actually signed. Finally, Mr. Speaker, the projections and statistics on the food situation in Ghana, Mr. Speaker, is grim. According to the World Food Programme report that was issued in March 2024, more than 1 million Ghanaians are likely to face food insecurity between now and August. Mr. Speaker, for example, the price of a bucket of tomato, which was sold at 75 cedis at the beginning of this year, now sells at 180 Ghana cedis. This represents an increase of 140%. Mr. Speaker, the price of a crate of tomato increased by more than 360% between January and June this year alone, moving from 1,500 Ghana cedis to 7,000 Ghana cedis. In a matter of 1 week, Right Honourable Speaker, the price of a sack of onion jumped from 600 Ghana cedis to 1,050 Ghana cedis, an increase of nearly 100%. Mr. Speaker, a sack of coconut which was sold for 900 Ghana cedis in December 2023, now sells as 1,100 Ghana cedis. This means, Mr. Speaker, that within 5 months, the price of kokonte has gone up by 22.2%. A tuber of yam, Right Honourable Speaker, was sold at 25 Ghana cedis as of December 2023. It's now going for 30 Ghana cedis. This represents, again, another 20% increase in the price of yam. Right Honourable Speaker, high food prices are not the only challenges facing the people of Ghana, but food shrinkflation, where food vendors maintain their prices but reduce the quantity or the size of their portion, is also the new order of the day. I'm sure that those of you who have purchased in Kandokon or Dan KK recently will appreciate the food shrinkflation that I'm talking about. Mr. Speaker, the food is shrinking in size by the day, even though they claim the price is not increasing. Shrinkflation has become the order of the day as long as food is concerned. Mr. Speaker, in all honesty, the chroma is shit. Times are very hard and Ghanaians are really suffering. Right Honourable Speaker, I'm curious. I want to ask, what has happened to the billions of Ghana cedis approved by this House for the government's so-called flagship program, Planting for Food and Jobs? Where is the food and where are the jobs? Right Honourable Speaker, where are they planting for? Are they planting for high food inflation or they are planting for joblessness? Mr. Speaker, we are back. Trust us, the NDC minority caucus to protect the interests of the people of Ghana. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.